Hey guys, Cal here, and today, because of a viewer request, I am standing here with the 2024 Ford Maverick XLT all-wheel drive, and I was really excited when this request came in because I have yet to get my own hands on the Ford Maverick, and I've seen nothing but great reviews from owners online over the last few years. So let's take a look at the Maverick XLT all-wheel drive and see what it's all about. Okay guys, so starting out on the front end of the Ford Maverick XLT here, you will see the headlights are LED, and those do come with the auto high beam option, and the turn signals are halogen. And then in the center of the front here, you'll see your Ford logo surrounded by the flat black grille, and then right in the middle of the grille is a gloss silver painted piece right there. And taking a look under the hood of our Maverick, you will see the 2-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder, which puts out 250 horsepower and 277 pound-foot of torque, and that's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. So thank God a vehicle of this size is not going to a CVT quite yet, so I really do like to see that 8-speed transmission in here. And then as for fuel economy on the 2-liter EcoBoost here, on the all-wheel drive model, we're looking at 22 miles to the gallon in the city, 29 miles to the gallon on the highway, and 25 miles to the gallon combined. And moving down the side of our Maverick, you will see down below the 17-inch painted alloy wheels that just has a simple 5-spoke design, and those are wrapped in the Continental Pro Contact TX, and that is a 225/65/17 for the tire size on all four. And right above that, you will see the XLT badging on the side, which has that fake vent right in the middle and looks reminiscent of what we see on the side of the F-150s, so it sort of ties the Maverick into the rest of the Ford truck line. Then right behind the XLT badging, you do have that gloss black painted side mirror. It doesn't have anything fancy on the outside of it, doesn't have any turn signal indicators or anything like that. And then the back side of the mirror also does not have any blind spot illumination light on the mirror. It just simply has your blind spot mirror in there. And then on the side of the Maverick, there's nothing else really fancy going on. You just have your black plastic door handles that do not have passive entry on them, so you will just have to either unlock it, or you can use the keyhole right there in emergency situations. Coming back to the fuel door, opening that up, the easy fuel system that we've seen in the Fords for the last decade is in there, and as you can see from the sticker that's on the fuel door, you can put just 87 in the 2-liter EcoBoost. Now onto the back side of the Maverick here, it does have halogen brake lights and turn signals and halogen reverse lights right in the middle right there. And then the tailgate, I do like that they are doing the Maverick imprint like a lot of other truck brands seem to be doing nowadays. It is also on the Maverick here as well to see that model designation on the tailgate. Nice to see that. You do have your all-wheel drive badging on the back here as well. And on the tailgate, I noticed does not seem to be a soft fall. Does seem to just kind of fall pretty quick like that, so there's no soft fall, but it's a light enough tailgate that you really wouldn't need it anyway. But I just thought that's something I would note, since we have seen that on most tailgates of the last few years. Down below, we do have the trailer hitch as well as your 4-pin connector. Now, I did not see a 7-pin connector on this, which I thought was interesting. So I do believe that this particular XLT all-wheel drive Maverick is only capable of towing 2,000 pounds. I think to get the 4,000 pound max towing capacity, not only do you have to have the towing package, obviously, but you also have to have the 4K package upgrade as well in order to tow that full 4,000 pounds. All right, guys, here we are in the bed of the Maverick, and back here it is a 4.5-foot box back here, and you will see it also does come with a bed liner in here. That's part of the $2,275 XLT luxury package, which gives you a power driver's seat, the drop-in bed liner that you see here, and that trailer hitch receiver that we just saw down below. And another interesting thing about the bed of the Maverick is it does have that flex bed that we've all heard about so far, which does have these little slats on the sidewalls where you can put pieces of wood in to section off certain parts of your bed. If you're going camping and you're trying to keep everything organized while you're on your way to the campsite, it's a good option for that. On the left side, you will see the flex bed little toolbox here where I can open this up, take this side panel off, and see that there is a little area that I can put a couple small things, maybe some ratchets or tie downs, toss them in there so I have them for the future. And then on the driver's side of the bed, there is a little light that I can click on right from the outside, so I don't have to go all the way up to the cab to turn that light on. And there is a little power plug right next to that. That is good for running something, say like a small power tool. Now I'm about 6'2", but for illustration purposes, I did want to hop in the back seat for you guys. The driver seat is in the same position that it just was in when I was sitting in it. I didn't slide it forward at all. So when I hop in the back seat here like this, you will see that it is a little tight, but if I kind of sort of move myself around here and dig my knees into the center of the chair back here, I can at least fit. It's going to be good for a short ride, but not a super long ride. So it's probably best back here for kids. I don't really think it's going to be too comfortable back here for adults in the back seat of the Maverick. Okay guys, here we are in the driver's seat of the Ford Maverick here, and you will see that Ford has decided to use so many different and cool materials. And on the door panel here, it's my favorite part. In the center of these two gray plastic pieces, they have this lighter gray plastic, which has this print on it that sort of reminds me of like a stone, like when you were a kid and you went to the playground and they had those little rock climbing walls, and that sort of had that gray, fake stone look. That is how I see this plastic piece looking as, and they also use that material up on the dashboard as well. And they've incorporated these little ridges around the air vents to make it look like it's little pieces of stone, and on the door panel as well. So it really is a cool looking piece, and the door handles are super rad looking too, with that orange accent on the inside, and just how the fact that it doesn't completely close off, it's just kind of a open thing that you can grab like that. And then on the steering wheel, we do have some nice soft padded leather here, which feels very quality in the hand. It feels like it's going to last for many years to come. It does have those great 9-3 and 10-2 grips. Feels very solid in the hand. On the left side, they do keep it simple, where you just have your cruise controls right there, your option to turn your volume up or down for the radio, or just mute it altogether. And then on the right side, also pretty simple, just your buttons to pick up, hang up your phone calls, use your Siri's voice functions, and go through your driver information center. Another nice thing about the Maverick is how refreshingly simple the radio is to operate. Right from the home screen, I have the audio app here where I can get to my AM, FM, or my Bluetooth music. If I hit the phone app from there, it'll take me right over here where I can get to my contacts, my recent calls, all that good stuff right in there. Then if I go over to my apps, I will see there's a spot I can add a new device or find mobile apps if I have my phone plugged in. And this is also where you're going to access your Apple CarPlay and your Android Auto. And then all the way to the right, the last app I have to play with is just my settings, where I can go through the settings for the radio, Bluetooth, phone, or any other connections I have to worry about in there. And it's just so nice to see in the land where it seems entire dashboards are turning into TV screens nowadays, that we just have this one simple little radio screen to use in the Maverick here. And another nice touch about the radio here is the fact that they do have those physical buttons for your volume and your seek and your skip and play and pause buttons. It's all right there, and it all still is a physical button on the dashboard, which is nice to see. And right below that, we have the climate control, which is not a dual zone climate because it is the XLT model, but we do just have your fan speed on the left side and your temperature on the right side to select there. Your heated seat and heated steering wheel buttons on the bottom there, and all your fan speed and fan direction selections right in the middle. And then a little dedicated button to turn on your mirror heaters, because there is no heater for the back window. It is just a pane of glass. There's no little lines running through it to heat it up in the wintertime. So you do just have the heaters on the side mirrors only. And I know some drivers aren't really a fan of the dial shifter in the middle, but I have found that it does work pretty well, and there doesn't really seem to be any kind of delay in putting it into gear. So I do actually like the Range Rover dial style shifter in here. It works well. Not as good as a column style shifter, of course, but it is preferred over the button style shifter that I saw in the Honda Ridgeline this past week when I reviewed that. And another thing I like about the center console area here is there are so many places to toss things when you get in here. You got this massive cubby up here, where if you have a water bottle or just something big, you just got to toss up there real quick. It is a deep storage cubby up there, and then little cubbies to toss things back here, a little cubby on the right side of the radio screen to toss something, a little cubby to toss something above the radio screen. You even have a fair-sized door pocket over here to toss stuff for this class of truck. So they have no shortage of space in here. And even the center console, when I open it, has a good amount of space in there. I'm almost able to put my entire hand in there. If I take our 26-ounce Yeti here, put it in there, it almost closes, not quite, but it is a pretty deep storage cubby in there. So you will have no shortage of places to put your things when getting into the Maverick. Okay guys, here we are in the driver's seat of the Maverick here, and we're gonna get this thing up to speed here. Okay. Wow, she gets right up to speed, man. This 2-liter 4-cylinder in the Maverick is awesome. We do have it in sport mode right now, but one thing I wanted to say for this 250 horsepower and 277 pound-foot of torque 4-cylinder in this thing is it is always raring to go. It just has so much power. It feels light on its feet. It feels agile. It's always ready to just continue pulling. Even when I'm at a rolling speed like this, even at say 40 or 50 miles an hour, it still feels like it has a ton of power and just wants to continue pulling. It is a very quick little truck, and the road noise in here also is very minimal. You don't get a lot of noise from the tires. You don't get a lot of noise from the outside in general. It's a very quiet cabin. I don't hear any wind noise in here. And of course, due to its independent suspension, it feels very car-like in here. It feels very smooth in here. It takes the bumps well. You don't notice a lot of that stuff. It's just such a comfortable place to spend time here. And even me being 6'2", I do have probably an equal amount of space to say something like the Honda Ridgeline or the Nissan Frontier in here. So really am quite pleased with the amount of leg space for being 6'2" in here. And if you're somebody with wider shoulders, I think you're gonna have a pretty easy time finding somewhere to put your arms, because you do have a nice big old center console here. You do have a nice little armrest on the door as well. And another nice thing when you're picking up speed or you're hitting the gas to downshift and maybe you're doing a pass on someone is you do feel that the 8-speed in here is actually pretty smooth. A lot smoother than I expected when I saw it on paper. I didn't really know how this transmission was gonna be, but it turns out it is pretty darn smooth, this thing. And as far as the steering rack goes here in the Maverick, let's see, we're only doing about 15 or 20 right now. Yeah, it feels pretty connected there. I can actually feel what I'm doing with the wheels. It's not as numb as I expected it to be. I expected a really electronic, really disconnected feeling in here. But as soon as you turn it, great turning. I mean, you really know what you're doing when you're turning the wheel of this thing. So great. The steering on this thing is also very direct. And last point I wanted to make is, according to the window sticker, this thing is priced at $32,905, and I would say it is worth every penny of that. I know we might not have every single creature comfort in the world in this one because it is the middle of the road model, but I had so much fun driving this Maverick today that the Honda Ridgeline that I've been driving for the past week as my rental vehicle absolutely pales in comparison. And I think that Ridgeline goes for like 10 grand more than this. And I had way more fun driving this. The radio and the steering wheel, all the buttons in this thing are way easier to understand than in the Ridgeline. And this is the first time I've ever sat in a Maverick before. So I think it is worth every penny. If you guys are in the market for a Maverick right now, I would say go and buy one, because this thing is absolutely worth it. I also did want to do a quick shout out to my friends over at Bob Johnson Ford in Avon, New York, for providing me this Maverick to review for you guys. So if you are interested in a Maverick, I will put all their info in the description down below. That wraps it up for my review of the Ford Maverick XLT here. I appreciate you guys watching. If you did enjoy the video, like and subscribe now. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.